All right, here is the fastest kid alive. Defensive back out of the University of Kentucky. Not one, but two-time second-team All-SEC selection. And Mad Max, you happen to be the fastest man in the combine. I like this smile. How are you feeling this morning?
Honestly, just feeling, blessed to be here right now, excited to get this podcast. So let's do it.
Mm-hmm. All right, I love that. We like the vibes. Maxwell Hairston joining the show up in Adams. We are at a golf course. Pay no attention to that, or unless you like golf, because I wonder how quick you could get through 18 holes at your speed, like 1 hour?
Well, really with golf, it's a patience sport, so I would try to slow down. Maybe get there in like an hour and a half.
Oh my gosh. Maxwell, you just explained why I'll never understand or play golf, because it takes patience. You literally do we have Hamilton anywhere? Matthew Hamilton, my producer, who I've been with for 10 years. It all just made sense to me in a moment of clarity with Maxwell Hairston, that is why me and golf don't get along. Patience.
Yeah, patience is not in your vocabulary. It all makes sense now.
No, it's not in my vocabulary
it does,
neither. But, certain situations, I gotta calm down.
Speed is in my vocabulary. Yeah, I like quick, but I like that you know how to pace yourself. But I don't really want you to pace yourself, and neither does any coach in the NFL or any team for that matter. 4.28. I had to double check the numbers. I was like, this can't be right. I watched it a million times. I want to know what the goal was going into that drill.
So honestly, the goal that I set for myself, even starting combine training, was always a 4.28. So the fact that I got to, officially run a 4.28, like I was just like, wow, like, that's all good guy right there.
Max, is that the fastest 40 you've ever run, or are you about to tell me that you can run faster?
Honestly, that was the fast ran on clock. Honestly, feel like if I would have ran in a straight line, it could have been even faster than that.
Love that. And NFL teams are speed wins. Coach Sarkisian, I sat with him from Texas. He's got all these guys. He goes, speed wins. Speed wins. NFL coaches love it. GMs love it. Fans love it. And it's not just your speed. I don't like when we harp on one thing, okay? Your athleticism, my friend, is off the charts. Truly extraordinary. If we look at some of these measurables, unbelievable. Obviously, your vert, your broad jump, track and basketball. Has that contributed to your athleticism, and how?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Growing up, I thought I was going to be a basketball player, to be completely honest with you. And just, all the stuff I learned from track in high school, even though COVID canceled my junior season and I enrolled early my senior year, I still got the opportunity to run my freshman and sophomore year and to go all-state as a sophomore. So taking what I learned from, track and the athleticism from basketball and applying it to football, like, no-brainer.
You lettered in football and track and basketball in high school. That is a lot of teammates. I'm on the air. Hi, how are you? A lot of different kinds, of teammates, adversity, all of that. What do you think your teammates would say about you when you're not in the room?
Honestly, I feel like they would say, like, Max is one of those dudes where he's a hard worker, he's dedicated, and he's one of those vocal leaders to where if I say something, I'm going to make sure I'm holding myself to that, standard too, make sure I'm holding myself accountable before I tell somebody else what to do. So they'll just, he's a energetic guy, always smiling, and always just happy to be there.
I love that. I like to, I'm not much of a golf gal, I'm not much of a college football gal. There's like too much going on. So as I was preparing and as I prepare for the NFL draft and your journey, and NFL fans are getting to know you, I always like to pick out a play that sticks out. And it was hard because you had these 2 pick sixes in one game against Vanderbilt in 2023. But the one I want you to talk me through is the 54-yard interception it was a return in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, so I got a pick 6 earlier in that game. So honestly, I was not expecting the second one. But, just dropping in cover 2, holding my zone, having eyes on the quarterback, it put me in position to realize, like, okay, yeah, that ball is overthrown. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's coming right to me. So I had to really get ready for that catch because it was a bullet. And, once I felt the ball in my hands, I'm like, hey, why not go score? I had my blockers in front of me. I was waiting patiently behind them, and I was like, yeah, let's take it all the way.
I mean, Maxwell, the surprise there, why I wouldn't have thought you were going to have another huge game-breaking play is because nobody throws the ball your way. Like the number, if I were you, I would be, I don't know that I want you to tell me, are you offended by this or is it the ultimate sign of respect? I would want the work. Okay. But 300 defensive snaps just last season, you were only targeted 22 times. Did you even break a sweat last season? Like, what is this?
Honestly, it's honestly a major sign of respect. And, although it might seem like a boring game in the DB's mind, it's the ultimate sign of respect. And that let me know that, okay, you must be doing something right if they're literally going away from you. And, I take that. Even though I want to, do everything I can to help the team, if I'm helping the team by making them stick to one side, I'm doing my job. So I can't complain about that.
I'm really impressed. NFL quarterbacks are going to hate you. That's just what it is. 31 guys out there are going to hate you. Wide receivers too. I'm sure we can add that to the group. What is one thing? I don't know if I'm doing. I think I'm doing a pretty good job of hyping you up. But I want you to tell me, as I sit here, wherever I might be, every day of the NFL season, what is one thing that you want to make sure? Hey, you better be talking about this too. Not just my speed, not just my ball hawk ability. What do you want me to know about you?
Honestly, like, I'm the ultimate competitor. Being at corner, you got to have a short-term memory. You got to be able to forget about the last play, good or bad, and focus on the next play. And really just my energy. Like, when I'm on the field, I play with my head's on fire because, my film study and everything that we do to practice gets me ready for being able to go out there and play fast. But they're going to know that I'm going to empty the tank every game.
And you've described yourself, as I think the word was greedy. And I don't know that I've ever heard a prospect or even an NFL player describe themselves that way. What do you mean by that?
I mean, I'm greedy as in I want that ball. I'm going to do everything to get the ball back to my offense to put them in position to score. And I'm greedy for those matchups, the one-on-one in the boundary, tackling, everything. Like, I want that.
And you, 1 sack, 3 forced fumbles, 3 tackles for loss in your career at Kentucky, which is I truly am so impressed by you. And you have a great energy about you, which I didn't know until this interview because I never met you before, but you look like a guy who can celebrate. So you do know which defense has the best celebrations in the game, right?
What defense is that?
Minnesota, Cam Bynum, that whole vibe. The Vikings, right? A lot of mock drafts I see have you going there. Could you visualize yourself playing with the Vikings?
I could, definitely love the celebrations that they do after, the defense gets rewarded because that's something I'm big on. Like, man, we take the ball away from the offense. Like, man, we're not supposed to do that. Let's celebrate. Like, let's toast to that. So seeing that they have their celebrations ready and on go, I feel like I fit right into that.
Your smile says it all. You don't look so terrifying to me, but I don't have to try to keep the ball in play here. Yeah, I got you. You met with the Cowboys. You met with the Colts. I think you met with the Niners, who definitely, they've said bye to everybody. They're in an interesting growth period out there in the Bay. And I'm sure there were more in there. What other teams did you meet with? I
got a chance to meet with the Raiders, the Jets, and I got a chance to sit down on a Zoom with the Packers, Seahawks. So, I made my rounds around the NFL, which is a blessing. Felt like I was playing Road to Glory in real life. So being able to go through these formals and Zoom calls and stuff, it's truly been a blessing.
That's amazing, and I like just your approach to that. I really like your energy. I gotta say, Hairston, it's amazing. And you're fast, but you are taking your time. You're thoughtful. It's nice to get to know you. I'm trying to think. That's a lot of different Zooms. I don't want you to tell me which one you felt better about. You don't have to tell me that. But is there a team that stuck out to you that it's kind of hard sometimes through Zoom, but that's a lot of teams you met with. Is there one where you said, like, this feels right?
Honestly, I really enjoyed my Zoom call that I had with, like, the Seahawks and even meeting with them at the Combine. I enjoyed our formal. I enjoyed my formal with the Vikings as well. Like, being able to talk ball and, being able to learn the install and spot and stuff like that, that's fun to me. Like, I love to just talk about my film, talk about what I'm doing in this, play or what did I see on this play. Like, that's just been fun. And I've been able to do that with basically every team. So, I don't know if I really have a favorite because they've all been, amazing. Just blessed to be able to do this for real.
Did you say Seahawks, though?
This started with, it was fresh on my head. We just got off a call last night.
Yeah. You and Spoon, I don't even know. I don't think I don't know how that would work. That's crazy. Even to think about that would be amazing. Okay, so tell me about your like routine every day. That's what I want to know. So you're getting ahead of the draft. You have all these meetings, Zoom meetings. You're doing media so NFL fans can get to know you a little bit. What is your like day like? Even just on a day like today.
Well, okay, a day like today, of course, doing this, which I'm having a great time doing. I'm probably go to the facility because I'm in Kentucky and get in the cold tub, hot tub, just to relax my mind, have my body feeling great, and then just go eat lunch with my pops. He came down to see me yesterday because our pro day was last night, and just go back to Michigan later on this evening. But a normal day for me is, I'm either game planning my clothing brand, what we gonna drop next, or I'm just playing with my dog. I call him my son.
What's your dog's name?
His name is Blue. He's a Frenchie.
Oh, you have Lou, a Frenchie. God, it's unbelievable. Okay, so we're gonna play one game before you go. I hear my producers came up with it. It's called Max Out or Tap Out. I'm gonna put you in scenarios. Like let's say hypothetically you get drafted to a certain city, and these are all fun questions, I promise. And I no longer have them in front of me, but let's skip to the first one if we could. Can we skip to the first one? I'm telling an audible here. I'm failing on national television. Max, you're the stud here. Let's say you get drafted to the Giants, and you get a chance to play a small part in a Broadway play one night. Are you maxing out or tapping out of putting on a show?
I'm a max out. I'm a max out for sure.
Okay, great. You've drafted to Buffalo, and your teammates signed you up for a buffalo wing challenge. Are you maxing out or tapping out on an eating competition?
Woo! Honestly, I'm a max out on that too. I'm gonna do it.
You're drafted to the Cowboys, and you end up at a rodeo. You're challenged to ride a real-life bull. Please tell me you're tapping out of this, Max.
Yeah, I'm gonna tap out on that one. I don't think I got that in me.
You're drafted to the Denver Broncos, and a group of friends decides to climb a 14,000-foot mountain. Are you maxing out or tapping out on an insane all-day hike?
I'm tapping out on that one too. Actually, ooh, I'm gonna tap out. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be like, nah.
You can say no. Yeah. Yeah, and you can if you went, you'd have to leave Lou the Frenchie with me, but I'm a great dog babysitter. Now, last one, you're drafted to the Indianapolis Colts. You get the chance to take a few laps in an Indy car. I don't know the miles per hour, but I know it's faster than even your 40, Max. Are you maxing out or tapping out if you're driving a race car?
I'm maxing out. Man, I would. Ooh, that would be amazing.
Okay, you can say that now, but then when you get drafted to an NFL team, you'll say, absolutely not. I wouldn't do that. It's unsafe. I got to keep my body right. You've got all the answers to all the questions. Listen, it's so nice to get to know you. We love the smile. Enjoy the draft process. I know it can be a lot. I appreciate the time. I appreciate getting to know you. You're more than speed. That's what I learned. Much more than speed with Max. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for having me. Appreciate being here.
Thank you. I'm glad you had a good time. Oh, an amazing, amazing time with our guy, Max Hairston. We'll be back